then I think it's time to get into some new material. Let's see where else we can go. There's some clothes hanging up here. I know I can look at the map and see whose rooms these all are. I have looked into that a little bit. But I also do want to see... I don't think there was a point while the passengers were escaping when I can go back down and see what's happening below.
I think you can.
Yeah, okay. At this point, it says 11 others were present. Here, 12 others.
Well,
Here, only 5. So here, the deck is off limits, but here we can...
take a look, yeah.
So
that's this guy.
Yeah, let's see if we can find out what was happening on the gun deck while they were fighting up above. This guy is waiting outside the office. He's hiding. Don't know who he is, but it says that I should be able to identify him. That is Davies. And that's the other guy who was involved in the mutiny. His voice sounded Russian. I don't want to fill anything in, but I want to see how many...
I don't believe there are any Russian officers.
Yeah, so he could be the gunner's Polish mate. Leonid Volkov, topman, Russian, couple of Russian sailors.
Unlikely that a sailor or a topman would have that kind of fancy hat.
True. But don't remember which of these guys is the one who died in the office over there. I think this one.
Yeah, this is the guy that was knifed and eventually bled out.
Yep. Alright, so I want to watch what he's up to. It's a bit inconvenient having to walk all the way to the far staircase to get back down. Oh.
Yeah.
This guy stabbed him.
Be a pretty clear indication of what is happening.
So I'm trying to figure out, temporally speaking, when this happens in relation to the conversation that we heard at this man's death.
It would seem pretty sensibly to fit that in right after Fresh Bastard.
Makes sense. Let me...
And that since... I might be saying a bit too much here, but the voice yelling mutiny is then most likely the guy listening in.
Yeah, and
as we saw him
that was
in
what
the
I
earlier
determined.
scene.
Yeah, he came in and shot this guy for planning to mutiny. At least that's how I interpret it. It could be that I've got the sides switched, but it seems kind of weird.
The guy that got the guy with the fancy hat that got his face blown off got it blown off by the fourth mate, didn't he?
Right.
I think what happened here is basically that there was, like, Davies was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why did you stab him? What are we doing here?" Because those two were the remaining mutineers at that point. They were both in the room talking about the mutiny.
Oh, okay. So it's the guy running away who was shouting mutiny, mutiny.
Yeah, that was the guy that got stabbed.
Well, if these two are on the same side, I have no idea why he's shooting his face off.
Yeah, that's why I presume there was some sort of, like, scuffle of sorts born from the fact that that guy just killed somebody. Since presumably the mate just probably maybe thought, like, what do? You just killed somebody that didn't have any involvement.
But he does have involvement.
I think this is all presumption because we have no dialogue for what exactly happened.
Could be, but no.
The only,
see, the
like,
guy who's running away is involved because he's about to spill the beans on the whole plan.
Yeah, but basically, like, temporally speaking, we only have, like, Davies and Pace shot off, talk after Bosun dies, and plan mutiny. Stabbed guy says, listens in, they plan it out. Stabbed guy yells mutiny and runs away. Pace shot off, runs after him with a knife, and presumably stabs him in the back. That's the only sensible conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And then this ends with Davies shooting the guy's face off. So there is no, like, this is the only sensible conclusion that I can come to, that there's something that led to a quick impromptu disagreement between them on their plan. And then Brennan comes down and is like, "You just shot somebody's face off," and blam. Smacks him across the face.
Yeah, and the only thing that's really clear to me at the moment is that I'm missing a whole lot of information. So, that was the portion that I wanted to revisit. And I suppose that, as you've drawn attention to it, it's worth undoing the things that I guessed at, just so that they don't confuse me in the future. In the meantime,
I believe we can leave torn apart by a beast. He was literally torn in half in the scene, so that is a conclusive correct thing. The identity was what was incorrect here. Like, you can only see his half, and he is bleeding profusely from his lower half. He was very much torn apart by the beast.
Yeah, that is what I thought. I just...
Yeah, it's the identity. You made a wrong conclusion at that point.
Well, like I said, I was prepared for that to be the case. I do still wonder about something that it said happened at the bow. But again, I might simply not be able to see that yet. Or...
I think it might be this.
Yep, 7-2.
Only the most dignified end for our dear artist.
Well, I'm pretty...
We already identified him, so
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just glad to see that this is what was happening, because I really felt like a perv listening to that.
Yeah.
I don't honestly know where the toilets are on the ship. They might very well just be going over the side. In fact,
I think
still can't tell if that's not what's happening.
There is one you can see on one level, I think, but I guess this guy is just taking a dump there.
Well, it's probably worth seeing who else is around. Yeah, it very much looks like nobody's even aware that the beast is attacking them yet.
This is the on the bow scene.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Do want to take the time to look at some of these scenes a little more. He's carrying food. And that I believe is, yeah, that's the third mate. So this guy was crushed by a cannon. He could be the cook. I don't know whether the cook would be the one carrying food as well as preparing it. But it's a thought. Let's see what else there is to witness. Somebody on the deck. Ah, so they have only just discovered him. Right next to the cage, too.
Let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody Dane. Huh? How was that?
There's no cause for trouble, boys. Get in the boat.
Huh? Thought I'd forget. You killed my brother. What? That was an accident. The ropes.
It wasn't his fault. I saw the whole thing.
Nice. I shouldn't have waited so long.
No, don't.
And see, I was paying attention this time. I caught a lot of useful information.
Yep, there's some interesting stuff going on here.
And that's exactly what I was talking about last time when I said, why don't people say more useful things when they're getting killed? Like, finally, somebody has enough respect for me, the insurance agent who's just trying to put all these pieces together, strictly for insurance purposes. What's going on? I forgot how I began that sentence by the time I got to the end of it, so it may have ended up not being a complete sentence.
Nobody's writing it down.
I probably should be, honestly. But I think the big piece that I was missing here was how many people escaped.
Well, because we'll be only told the disappearances once we finish the chapter.
Right, and
So
I was missing these
now.
2 pages.
Yeah.
So the guy who died is Danish. Let's see how many Danes there are on board. There are one of them. And yeah, he's been clubbed by this guy. Who says we should also be able to identify.
There is information, but it's tricky.
That's what I figured.
I don't know if you check him. I don't know if it says he's a 2-star or a 3-star deduction.
Yeah, I thought he said it was a 1-star, but I might have been looking at the wrong person.
No, that was the Linda, who was pretty simple on account of being identified as a bloody Dane.
Right. So, apologies to everybody who is incredibly bored at this point, but I do want to look very carefully and see if I recognize the same name popping up twice. Botterill. No. Because we know that there are brothers here. Nathan and Samuel Peters. I haven't witnessed either of their deaths. But I keep feeling like the game is trying to tell me that I could narrow it down quite a bit, and that if I were to put in both of the guesses that I have, that it could confirm one or the other of them to be right.
Yeah, I mean, the game does expect you to fiddle around with things and kind of brute force it at parts, but at the same time, it does give you information that might be difficult to find. But like right now, we know. Okay, well, we don't know, but there are only two. The only two are like the Peters. These are the only two that could feasibly be the brothers that are relevant here. So the question is this Samuel or is this Nathan? And there is some bit of information that you can use to figure that out, but it is tricky. For now, we can just basically remember this, that we know that, okay, this guy is a brother, and that at some point we will run into a death scene involving ropes that will lead to the death of the other brother.
The goat's still alive.
Yeah, so here's the thing with the Doom.
Seven people just disappeared.
Okay, yeah, so the one on the bottom is the guy that we were looking at. This is the Peters. And so he's a 3-star.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, we've seen this guy back here. Like I said, I can't tell. Oh, we can identify him now. Or so it says. Yeah, but again, I feel like the game is basically daring me to guess at a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, and so that's kind of why I'm trying to go at this from the point of resisting the urge to just guess at things and kind of figure it out using the every 3 gets confirmed rule.
Yeah.
Because it is very tempting to just go that way.
Alright. I want to see whether I can get down to the cargo deck at this point. I believe I couldn't last time. I have seen some people walking through it, which seems to be, in a lot of cases, what triggers my ability to actually get to those places. Then I think I've already looked in those. Yeah, so we can get down here, but the door to the cargo hold still seems to be closed. And none of the staircases are open. So, alright. Let's work our way backwards, I guess. If we can. The port walk. I know I walked around the other side, I think it was. I covered the starboard walk. Yep, I see the flies. Not through there either. I thought there was a door at the far end of each of these.
No, apparently you can only access this way.
Yep.
But
yeah,
yeah,
so there's
so
no door on this one.
we got ourselves another dead body.
I was looking for a second, I thought it might have been 2.
Someone shoot the damn thing!
Well, that's not a very nice thing to say about this guy. Calling him a damned thing. What's with these people?
I think they might have been busy with this.
Does appear that way. So I thought that the beast was going to be kind of the extent of our supernatural goings-on. But that does not seem to have been the case. Our yada 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 just got a whole lot more interesting. So he's been shot. I can only hope that I can indeed get... Ooh. Someone was trailing blood along here, too. I'm gonna see whether I can get back into the deck proper there.
Not in this scene.
I'll reach conclusions when I get to them. See, we're still in North Africa here. I don't know if that ship ever even got farther than that. Okay, so this is the only time we've seen this guy, and yet it seems that we should be able to identify him. Okay. So yeah, I'm guessing that 68 is where we actually are now.
Yeah, I think this was one of the guys that was in the boat.
Yeah,
in
Well, I
the
just
Bloody
meant
Dane scene.
I wanted to confirm that the scene we're looking at now is the first one when we saw him.
Mhm.
So the other thing is when you're corpse hopping, it doesn't tell you what chapter and page you're on until you actually find the next person in line. Oh, just wanted to stop and smell the barrels, I guess.
The usual.
Yeah, because here it'll stop on 6-6.
I've got you. Don't move. I'll get you down.
I do think we only ever go like backwards one at a time.
Yeah, it would make sense. That's... Okay, now, well, actually, I may know who that is.
That's Peter.
Okay, yeah, that's Peter Milroy. Yeah, see, so many of these faces look the same to me. Alright, so this guy got stabbed through the wall. Okay, and he's the guy who was running away. He's already injured. Like, he got shot at the end, but he was injured before he ever got there. Yeah, so I've already concluded...
Already got this guy.
Yeah. I want to see something. So I know he was... Speared or spiked? It seems to be by one of these things, whatever the heck it is. I guess... Oh, okay, yeah, they're filling grenades with powder or possibly lighting a torch. There's one thing I noticed... Well, I guess I can't look at it here. Like, you know, it's not a crew member or anything, but you know, if I were to say, or was it? I mean, obviously this is not my correct answer, but there's enemy and there's beast. So I'm thinking enemy is probably what they're calling these insect things.
Well, if you were to select enemy, it would say a foreign enemy.
So these might be beasts as well. Because I'm thinking he was speared by a beast. It's the most reasonable conclusion I can draw from here.
I believe spiked would have worked just the same.
Yeah, that's the other thing that confuses me, is that there are a lot of these fates that are almost indistinguishable. And like you said, there's a lot of leeway for it.
I think if you'll go back to like between where that one guy was crawling, there's one of those things on the ground, laying on the ground. Turn around. like on his path, a little bit further ahead, near one of the blood. No, back.
Hmm.
Along the blood trail, at one point in the corner, there is one of those. There it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that is more of a spike than a spear, but it seems the game takes both.
Yeah, like I said, I feel confused a lot of the time about exactly what type of answer the game's expecting of me, but as long as it makes sense and gives me credit for actually understanding what's going on when I do, I'm fine with it. So that's the source of the big pool of blood there. I actually thought previously that it was from the cow or something, but obviously they would have cleaned that up. Seems kind of strange that they haven't cleaned up this one then. Oh, he just comes with the whole insect thing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know who he is, but
I think it's
Yeah.
Charlie.
yep. Okay, Charles Herstick. Poor guy, and I'm pretty sure that he is burning to death there. I kind of want to watch this guy through all the scenes just to see how long the butcher was stuck to the wall. Okay, and you are already running away. That would probably be the torch that they were lighting.
That scene looks a bit more like a
Yeah, it looks more like a
Gun.
gun, yeah. So it could be they were filling it.
There's a couple more dead bodies. I think there's a
Yep.
bit more going on.
I think I finally found those decapitations it was talking about. Yep, I recognize you. I'm actually starting to recognize Hoskett whenever he shows up. He is at least distinctive enough. So those guys are coming down to help, I guess. Think they were some of the escapees.
That's our Peters.
Yep. Ah, okay, yeah. This is going to be another one of those where we get 2 in 1.
A value package.
I mean, part of me is kind of cynically thinking I shouldn't actually be thinking too much at this point. I should just be gathering as much information as I can. And then during the editing pass, I'm going to learn a lot more. But I do want to figure out as much as I can of what's going on.
Where are you?
And this does seem to be the first chance we get to actually look at this thing properly.
Seems to be some sort of crab thing and a rider.
Yeah, and so I was thinking, is there's a person on that? I thought maybe it was like somebody had actually turned into this thing. But they both appear to have been decapitated. I know that's on the list. Okay, Soldiers of the Sea. Yeah, now I'm starting to see the chapter title there.
Yeah, the guy does seem, the rider seems like he could be covered in seaweed.
So, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go back to this. I don't know who you are, but I know what happened to you. That's good enough for me for now. Well, he's still alive now. So quite a bit happened between this picture and the previous one. Oh, that guy's throwing his lantern. That makes sense.
There's that guy again.
Yep. I have a feeling we'll be seeing him soon. So you're trying to open the way to the deck below. Okay, yeah, I don't know who you are yet. And I think that's the bosun running in with
Yep.
a gun. These guys are passing weapons out of the hold, but... Okay, yeah, he is enough in the scene. That's Wolf the gunner. And some guy. Excellent. Oh, more of them coming down from above. Suppose that shouldn't be any surprise. And this place wouldn't even be torn up until later.
What's going on? Stay back. It's already over the neck. Hey. Come on, boss. No, get there. Hey, cats!
No, I think it is you that will catch.
It could be. Again, I don't recognize these people, so I certainly need to, see the dialogue thing to tell me which of the lines was spoken by the person we just saw die. Yeah, we're getting into the point where there are a lot more people around, so I recognize fewer of them relative to how many of them there are. But we know that at least one of the two people who was killed earlier in this chapter is Nick.
Okay, so you're actually picking up on that right away.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people that misread that and think it's already done for, Nick.
Yeah, but I heard it.
Yeah, but they think it's already done for, Nick. As in, the person saying this is addressing a Nick.
Yeah, I mean,
And not
there
saying
was,
it's already done for, Nick. As in, it's already taken out, Nick.
yeah.
Because I've noticed that a lot of people take that the first way rather than the second way.
Oh, that's interesting. If I pick
Yeah.
spikes, then it just
Spiked is
immediately
just a
says,
beast.
yep. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense then.